peace at last. No more disturbing stuff. You know what that therapist did was just work wonders. Surprised the waiting list was really short for him to see me.
Hey, KB, check this out.
Shut up in there!
No, I'm serious. You're gonna love it.
That therapist fucking lied! Well, I guess I am who I am. Not good, but could be worse. Gotta remind myself if I feel down that people's brains start deteriorating at the age of 27. Wait, I turn 27 next month. So a long anticipated list is here, ready to kick off. The ultimate test is to see which does these bosses better. The ones with the freedom to be full of horror, or the ones who make a needle in a haystack. You got the slashers, you got the psychological horror, you got the absolute jump scares, but we won't know exactly what we're dealing with until we jump right into it. Normally I'd have a longer intro for this, but we've done this many times before, so you know the drill. Let's kick it off! Dig! Grr, arg. Now just picture this. The hands, they're kind of creepy enough. No worries. Oh! Fuck! Yeah, get back in your little hole. And wait for the grenade I'm about to throw in there. I am not food. Stop this once. I know you want biceps of your own, but these guns aren't for sale, baby. And I'm glad I got to see the smoky remnants of you too. Thank you, this is all going in my diary. 3D print and everything. No! Hey Katie, wanna see the cutest sloth? I just sent you a WhatsApp. Ah, you're a twat! So yeah, with the spirit of House of the Dead, there's always the weirdest gimmicks carried within it which end up chasing you like Ronald McDonald still trying to get his essentials during a pandemic. In this case though, they took something cute and adorable and made you wonder what if sloths could move at exactly the same pace as us, or even faster. How will it change now from them thinking their arms are a branch, grabbing onto them and then falling to their deaths? If only you could do that in this scenario. I mean, he can even climb across the walls like Superman, and not in the heroic way like in that one video before. And if you thought that was bad enough, wait until his, not so much alive friends come to join the party, to rain on your parade. I don't think this is what the Weather Girls had in mind. Oi!
Nothing can stop me.
So yeah, we're getting that old school 3D graphical style from the 90s. Oh, why do I always have to fucking censor nipples with these things? Personally, I think his face is more disturbing, but I digress. Dorothy is basically an artificial intelligence, being the main antagonist in the game Galerians. Questioning her role as humanity's servant, believing herself to be an inherently superior being. After a doctor told her about God, she starts to become the most serious threat in mankind's existence. And she became fascinated with the God concept, and wanted to reach that status herself. Well, you can't be if you're stuck to a wall, you idiot. If my eyeballs were roaming around the room like that, I'd feel like I'm in War of the Worlds again. And just a question, if a flying eyeball like that attacks your finger, can it still accuse you of poking it in the eye? Don't worry, on this channel we ask the most important questions. So overall, there's a flash there, wait for it.
Here it comes. Double flash.
And you could have almost swore she was some sort of Resident Evil boss. Nope, this is all man-made. Safe!
Help me!
Resident Evil games mainly demonstrate which mutation can be the most grotesque, as well as what backstory is just as disturbing as well as sad. Well, when we consider Resident Evil 2 getting a remake, then William Birkin gets a bit more of a makeover. Whether he's groaning or trying to eat your train, we'll pray that Raccoon City stays dead for the near future. You see how far William Birkin has sunk into this deep torture caused out of desperation. But in the end, it's pretty much his own doing. He sunk too far and came out not the same person as before. Quick! Hey, check this out, I wrote you a song. So how do I, well, it's not specifically to you, but, you know. So how do I let go from my love that is not like that? You know, I think when you're trying to let go of your dead girlfriend, probably the last thing you want is to shoot her in your mind and blow away all the shadow monstrosities that she's probably given birth to around her. I mean, I could just be speculating, he probably enjoys it. Thankfully, it's not the hardest boss in the world, far from it. But it definitely takes one big sidestep from what you experienced through the entirety of the Dead Space 2 game. Because we went into jump scares, body horror, all that kind of stuff, all to the psychological part of things. Which is, I guess, is the horror part that we find the freakiest, I suppose. I can't speak for everyone. Fate Fatal Frame in all its glory is going to be something that you're going to dread that next part of actively looking for ghosts. But are there surprises? Oh, hell yeah! Although that part was pretty hilarious, not gonna lie. She fell headfirst from the top of the stairs. Wouldn't be funny if it was real life. I could do a crab walk. Hey, look at them skills. That's great, mate, but can you put a fruit pastel in your mouth without chewing it? No? Then shut the fuck up. But it seems a lot that being brain dead from a massive fall like that helps you quite a bit with your flexibility. Can't fault it, can you?
Headwall! Go compare!
Now, I thought when going into the first Evil Within game that it had some of its freaky moments in and of itself. And with Laura reminding me of what image I'll never try to look at again. Oh god, I just looked at it. Evil Within 2 said, you know what, since Laura had the spotlight in the first game, why don't we add on to that? I think by tomorrow we'll have 50 heart attacks. Sounds good to me. Now there's two that stick out like a sore thumb, but closely I have to give this one to Anima. When you're trying to avoid detection and all you can hear all the way through the corridors is this painfully wretched lullaby, there is no way I can really defend that. It's gross by all meanings of it. The way all the rags flail as she's walking, that you feel the worst if she does come into your sight. And when she does kill you, she represents a Dementor on steroids. And even in this scene, she doesn't really have to bother with walking all the way around persisting to kill you. No, she wants to get it over with.
3!
And now we got one of those pesky little indie titles like Amnesia. So have you ever played Cry of Fear? If the answer is no, check this out. If the answer is yes, still stay because it helps with watch time. Let's talk about something else until I get the monster to kill ya. Fine, except for all the fucking monsters around the place. What is this, an MSN messenger chat? Hi, sup, nama, you, nama, good. What to? You just asked that. Oh yeah, lol. Nudge. But a bit of backstory on this one. The monsters in this game are all physical manifestations of Simon's mind, fighting his mental health of anxiety and depression, which then blends into these creatures. And then this boss is about Sophie and Simon's history, how Sophie abandoned Simon, to which Simon had grown resentment towards her, and the fight itself is meant to show that. And this fight is fairly difficult because of that realization, trying to let go of the hate you have for someone. But I think the main question on everyone's mind is, what the fuck is it? And then in this, Simon grabs his trusty sniper rifle that every teenager has and proceeds to lay all the bodywork on it. Where it's been hung from doesn't really matter, I don't think, because we're all too distracted by what it looks like in the end.
Die! I'm in a glass case of emotion!
And now the series that took psychological horror to the next level, and we're gonna run down the list with Ray, Child Asphyxia, Bubblehead Nurse, Needle, Gumhead, Abstract Daddy, Lion Figure, Ellen Grady, Voltiel, Mannequin, Pyramid Head, Twin Victims, Robbie the Rabbit, Sepulchre, Wheelman, Insane Cancer.
Silent Hill is full of nightmares. The town is f***ing scary. Should have murdered Mary. When you hear that pesky siren, better hope your doctor ain't an ugly monster.
So with all that sung... Sorry. That growling was not good. Who shall it be? Well, it's very mixed as to what the freakiest enemy can be, but since we're talking mainly bosses, then who else but Pyramid Head? I know it's a very common one to choose, but I'd say there's a good reason for that. The mystery that revolves around it, those scenes where he's ravishing mannequins like the daddy he wishes to be. I mean, it's dry humping, so that must show some frustration, especially in a random hotel. And speaking of frustration, Pyramid Head is an embodiment of James Sunderland's guilt and inner torment, manifesting from the guilty part of his mind that desires punishment. Described as the distorted memory of the executioners by Takayoshi Sato, who also explains that Silent Hill used to be a town of executions. Most of the people living there were either executioners or family to an executioner. The character of Pyramid Head is an overtly masculine humanoid who takes an appearance similar to the executioners of the town's cult. The helmet itself represents James' torment, with the sharp corners suggesting the possibility of pain. The figure exists to keep James human and to help him realize that he is guilty, often attacking other monsters to fulfill his role. The scene where he's abusing the mannequins represents the conflict in his mind. His fear of facing inner demons manifested itself as Pyramid Head, attacking other monsters to remove the visions from his psyche. And due to the sexual overtones, as Sato explains, psychological horror has to shake humans' heart deeply. Shaking people's heart deeply means uncover people's core emotion and their core motivation for life. Everybody is thinking and concerning about sex and death. Everything. If we want to scare, shake, or touch the users or spectators, then we have to think about sex and death deeply. To make like a death scene, somebody died or monsters died, we try to mix erotic essence. This is kind of a visual and a core concept. And the constant murder of reincarnating Maria is also his attempt to wake James up from his delusion and force him to remember his past actions. And then he kills himself because his purpose for existing has been finished. And with that, we have the full package. Do not try to open with a proper pair of scissors. Thank you.
I'm Peppa Pig.
So the most important lesson from this video is that never mind all the disgusting stuff that we see in actual monsters themselves, but that we, ourselves, are monsters. And the only way I can prove that is with Pigsy. Pigsy is among the worst, being a cannibalistic mass murderer and all. And through his declining mental state, he proceeds to chase you through an abandoned house, also trying to replicate the mannerisms of an actual pig themselves. But the fact that he seems like that kind of killer that you'd see in a movie like Halloween, where he seems almost invincible, it applies when you try to stab him and he still can feel the pain, no doubt about that, but with every stab it just doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finishing him off. And it's never great when you got an enemy running at you with a chainsaw, as Resident Evil once taught us. Wherever you are, he's always guaranteed to find you, until you let him lay down to his death, put an end to him once and for all. So this little piggy went to the market to find something that would chop down a tree, and he found a new hobby as a result. Okay, maybe the therapist had some sort of placebo effect injected into me, virtually. Or, I don't know, maybe it's all that Prozac I've been taking. Either way, anyway, I'll leave it down to your judgment. How disturbing did you find these? And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below, because we may come up with a future video to showcase some more suggestions that you guys put in. So until next time, thank you for watching, and you can follow me on social media, links are in the description, and until next time, lights out.